I've tried the complicated versions of options trading, multi-leg spreads, iron condors, calendar trade strategies that require tracking 5 different things simultaneously and making decisions in real time just to manage them. I kept coming back to one approach that is simpler than literally all of them, generates real income consistently, fits into a busy lifestyle with a family and a business, and gets more powerful as my capital grows over time. Not less. The wheel strategy, but not the basic version most people learn, right? The version I built around it over years with the specific setup and philosophy that makes it something I'm gonna run for the rest of my life. Now let me walk you through the whole entire thing, and here's the complete picture of what the wheel strategy is at its core, before anything else, okay? So we're all on the same page. The standard wheel has 2 phases, right? We got phase 1, you sell the cash secured put on a stock below the current price, you collect that upfront premium. If the stock stays above your strike, the option expires worthless and you keep the premium. Awesome. If the stock falls to your strike, you're assigned, meaning you buy 100 shares at that specific price. Then we move on to phase 2. You own the shares, you sell covered calls at the current price, you collect premium every 30 days. If the stock recovers to your covered call strike you selected, your shares get called away at the price above what you paid. If the stock stays below the call strike, the call expires worthless and you keep the premium and the shares and rinse and repeat. That's the basic cycle, right? Sell put, potentially own shares, sell covered calls, potentially exit. 2 income events per cycle, put premiums and covered call premiums. What I've added around that core is a specific way of selecting which stocks to run it on, how to time my entries, how to size every position, and how to handle the situations that really don't go as cleanly. That's what makes this strategy really run indefinitely rather than, a tactic that I'd outgrow. And here's the overall framework before getting into the very specific steps here. I don't sell puts on stocks I wouldn't want to own. We know that. That sounds obvious, but it's the rule that literally eliminates 80% of what's wrong with how most people run the wheel strategy. Before I ever open an options chain, I've already answered the ownership question. If I'm assigned on this stock at this strike, am I genuinely comfortable owning 100 shares of this business at that price? Not comfortable because I hope it goes back up. Comfortable because the business is actually real, the dividend is solid, and the price represents some genuine value to me. This filter immediately removes speculative stocks, meme stocks, anything under $15 to $20, anything with no earnings history, anything I couldn't explain the business model of in 2 sentences. What remains is a watch list of boring quality dividend paying companies in usually the $20 to $40 range where assignment is not a huge problem to recover from. It's a second phase to execute. Everything else in the setup flows from that, right? With that one prerequisite question. And if you want to get my 15 favorite Ark Option Strategy stocks, I actually give them to you at the end of the Ark Options workshop. They're all under $30 as well. So click the first link in the description of today's video. You'll watch that 90-minute training, plus you'll also get my 2 premium calculators, my full trade log template, and obviously that full watch list. So make sure to click the first link in the description of today's video. But let's talk about step 1, right? Timing our entries. Look, I don't sell puts whenever premium just looks attractive. I sell puts when the technical setup is favorable for me. The specific signal I wait for, the stock near the lower Bollinger Band with the RSI approaching oversold territory. This combination tells me the stock has already pulled back meaningfully, it's absorbed recent selling pressures, and the probability of continued decline in the near term is lower than the probability of stabilization or recovery. This timing discipline means I'm not always in a position. There are weeks where nothing on my watch list is at the right technical setup. I wait. I'm patient. Patience before entry is the most underrated part of any option strategy. Step 2, position sizing. Every put position I sell represents really no more than 10 to 50% of my active options capital, okay? Period. This cap exists specifically so that, a simultaneous adverse outcome on 2 or 3 position doesn't literally impair the portfolio's ability to continue even operating. A bad quarter on 1 position, it's manageable for sure. A bad quarter on 6, concentrated positions can be catastrophic to us. I also maintain a liquidity reserve, roughly, 20% of total options capital that never tries to enter a put position. This cash obviously earns interest while it waits. Its job is to absorb the scenario I didn't plan for without forcing me to make some reactive decisions under some sort of financial pressure. And step 3, managing assignments, okay? When a stock reaches my strike and I'm assigned, I don't panic. I didn't sell the put on a stock I didn't want to own to begin with. The first action after assignment, note the effective cost basis. That's the strike price minus all premiums collected on this position and any prior cycle on the same underlying. If I sold the put for $1.20 and was assigned at 30, my effective cost basis is $28.80, not 30, okay? The second action, check the ex-dividend date. If a dividend is arriving within the next 6 to 8 weeks, I factor that into when and what strike I sell the covered call. Step 4, the covered call phase, obviously. On an assigned position, I sell covered calls at strikes where I would genuinely be comfortable exiting it. Not the highest premium I can get, right? The right balance of premium and exit price is ideal here. I use the upper Bollinger Band as my covered call trigger. I wait for the stock to recover and push towards the upper end of its recent range before selling the call. This timing gives me 2 advantages. The premium is better at this extended level, and the stock is more likely to pull back or hold flat from there than continue upward sharply. The covered call phase is not a recovery operation, okay? It's an income generation on a position I own and would continue to hold if nothing triggered the call. Every month the call expires worthless, the effective cost basis continues to drop, the position is improving literally with each and every cycle. Step 5, the exit and reset. When a covered call results in the shares being called away at a profit, I close the position cleanly. I note the total return, premium from the puts, any dividends received, premium from the covered calls, and of course the appreciation from the exit price minus effective cost basis. That total is what the cycle produced for me. Capital returns to my reserves, I evaluate what's going on my watch list, I wait for the next setup to arise. That's the full loop. Stock selection, entry timing, position sizing, assignment management, covered call phase, exit and reset. 5 steps, run with discipline indefinitely. And here's the reason I call this a strategy I'll run for the rest of my life. It doesn't require market timing. It doesn't require predictions about where the market's going. It doesn't require me to be, right about anything except that the stock I chose is a quality business worth owning at the price I agreed to. Every part of the strategy has a clear rule. The stock selection removes bad candidates before I see the options chain. The entry timing puts the probabilities in my favor. The position sizing ensures that any single bad outcome stays survivable. The assignment management turns a loss into a second phase of the same trade. The covered call phase generates ongoing income while the position runs, and the exit is clean and defined. No strategy works perfectly every time. Of course not. This one works most of the time and is manageable when it doesn't. That's the bar I needed to clear to run it indefinitely. Got some questions for you guys as always in the comment section down below. 1, of the 5 steps, stock selection, entry timing, position sizing, assignment management, covered call phase, which one do you feel least confident about? Let us know down below. Number 2, is there a specific part of the setup that you do differently from what I described? And has your version produced better or worse results? Share it down below. And also make sure to click the first link in the description of today's video. Attend the Ark Options workshop. You'll get my 2 premium calculators, my full trade log template, and my 15 favorite stocks to run the Ark Option Strategy on, all under $30. You'll find the link as the first one in the description of today's video. Guys, as always, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I'll see y'all tomorrow.